So, as I was working on my article this month for navigating change, I have to tell you, there were so many moments that came up. So many, obviously, I mean, we're constantly changing, we're constantly evolving. And as I was writing my article, a little story floated up that I wanted to share with y'all today. Now, for those of you who know me, you know that my grandmother has been a steady force of love and has been a mentor for me in a lot of ways. I would probably say, like if we were in second grade and I had to write a story about my hero, it would definitely be my grandmother. And she and I had a really special relationship that actually didn't kind of develop until I was older, and she was in her late 80s through she lived to be 102. So she's just somebody who's very special to me. And when I first started my massage practice, my grandmother, being the amazing grandma she is, asked to have appointments. So I would carry my massage table to her little apartment in her retirement village, and I would spend a morning with her giving her a massage. And we would have these beautiful conversations. And there was one day on her windowsill, she loved to read. And on her windowsill, she shared with me that she had put her favorite books there. The books that transformed her, the books that gave her a new perspective on life. And in that collection, there were books by C.S. Lewis. There was a book called Knowing God. And there was also a book that she shared with me while we were talking this day. She said she was reading a book about how somebody was studying evolution. And while we think about evolution, I think a lot of times we think about chance, and we think about, obviously change is evolution, but we think about how things just kind of blah, 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 and then they come together and they evolve. And what this researcher was finding was that there was like a thread of force, that evolution actually like has a direction. And one of the theories that was shared in this book was that we are always evolving towards love. And my grandmother, a woman of faith, a woman who studied the Holy Spirit, and that was very much a part of her life and her practice. There was something about this idea that we're always evolving towards love, that we're always changing towards love. I think it just brought a sense of peace, especially when the world feels chaotic, especially when things don't make sense, when it feels like what we expect and what is happening are two very different things. To hold in the back of your mind, to embody in your heart, and way down, as we say, in BodyMind, in your pelvic bowl, the awareness that we evolve towards love, I don't know, brings me a certain peace. I also have to admit that 2020, I think, kind of like blew a lot of stuff up for a lot of people. Things that were still like, the change that we are navigating is very real, very palpable, and will be for years to come. And I have to admit, there was a part of me that still questions, is that true? Are we actually evolving towards love? And I think that's a question we can all ask. I will say that when I ask a question, I'm also really curious to the energy and feelings that show up with it. And when I say that, there's always a sense of peace. That while bad things happen, while we have seen so much loss, and I know even saying this does not, it's not about pacifying that. It's not about putting off all the grief and all the sadness and all the emotions that we're all feeling. And there's a part of me that, though, when I say we evolve towards love, it feels true. It gives me a sense of peace. And maybe that's simply the reminder that I need to step into change, to step into those moments when things don't feel certain. So try it on for yourself. Ask yourself, does that feel true for you? I would love to know. We can continue this conversation together. Thanks. This is Body Mind Living with Laura Wieck. Thanks for watching.